Hello everyone, Sientir here with Final Fantasy XIII, and last time we finally got to the top of this tower, kind of. I mean, so it's all relative, right, about how you evaluate top. We got to the apex of the tower, as it said. We got to the part of the tower that's, it's called the Cloven Spire for a reason. We got to the part of the tower that is currently functioning as the top, although as you can see over there, there's a huge section that is crashed downwards that we are intending to make use of at some point. It looks like there's some treasure chests.
Have a thing for heights.
A good thing or a bad thing? That's not a very clear statement. You can see. Because it's an RPG. Okay, that's not what I was expecting, I'll be honest. I was kind of just wanting to walk over to the treasure chest, but apparently I need to do that around.
Uh-huh. Hey, look!
It's acting strange. He must be weak from losing his tail.
Yeah? Looks plenty feisty to me.
He's bluffing to scare us off. Let's just go with that, all right? Come on, we can do this.
Okay, that's kind of what I was expecting. Step 1, Dahaka. Okay, I'm not getting any alternate enemies, so let's start by Librahing it. And getting our buffs on. I don't quite know 100% what's going on here, but let's see. Okay, so just have physical damage. That's not too big of a deal.
Thanks.
And snow is super tanky, so that gives us a little bit of time to get some buffs up.
Thanks. Hey.
Well, I mean, let's start fighting this thing. How much HP does it have? 2.3 million! Okay. Well, we're going to be here a while. I imagine this is going to get harder at some point in time in the fight as well. It's taking stagger damage pretty well, as in, like, we're building that stagger meter up, which is good. Wow, that hurts. Hey, Hope, stand up. Okay, we're kind of recovering. But if it just wants to spam those, we're going to be in a bad place. I'm going to take a moment to try to get some buffs up on Hope. Yeah, bar fire seems like a good plan as well. Need to get some healing going on again.
Thank you.
Bone Chilling Breaker. Wow, that hurt. Just gonna take a moment to get our foul utterance. Okay, I think we should be okay over here for the moment. Ow. And then it follows up with Blizzard. I'm going to stay on this mode for a little bit, just to let some healing happen. Okay, I might need to go to combat clinic.
Changing gear.
Back to prudent planning, because I need to get some haste going. It's starting to wear off.
Anytime.
Well. This fight seems ridiculous. I imagine we have to win it too. Well, bar fire helps a lot with that.
Thanks. Anytime.
Get these hastes back up.
Changing the play.
Okay, let's try to get some more damage in on it. Ouch. This is one of those fights where I legitimately don't know, like, is this one of those, because this game has really, really painful momentum, where if you're put on the back foot, you're just spending all of your time healing up and trying to not die, and sometimes, like, if you're able to be in an aggressive stance, you can keep the enemy on the back foot to where they're not able to hurt you because they're being so busy being staggered and stuff. Whereas if you're not able to kind of be in that position, then you can be kind of just on the back foot and absolutely totally wrecked.
Thanks. Try that on me. Anytime.
Now I need to go to prudent planning to get buffs up on everybody. Oh, this is probably bad. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I don't know what Pal Utterance does. Seems to do some amount of damage. Yep. We took so long having to repair ourselves, get our buffs back up, heal up, that its stagger meter's completely reset too, which is obviously not ideal. We need to be healed because we don't have bar fire on. We have the one that stops the cold from wrecking us. Of course that's the situation here. I mean, if it just keeps doing the stuff that it's doing, we will be able to whittle it down eventually. But the thing that I'm worried about is that it's going to add stuff to what it does.
Thanks. Anytime.
I need to get the haste back up. Yeah, bar fire seems better than...
Thanks.
I don't know how much of a difference vigilance makes. Not combat clinic, not this assault. But we're having an absolutely awful time. Of course, it switches to Bone Chilling Breaker the moment we switch to bar fire. And I don't think you can have both on at the same time. It's the real issue here. Feels like we might need to switch to combat clinic. Well, okay, if it's going to be using that, it's not too big of a concern. I think that... Holy shnikes, that just one-shot me, basically. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to retry, but... That should put me before the cutscene, right? This fight is, okay. Not stepping on the elevator. There's a big exclamation point. I'm going to also just switch. This is not... Yeah, I'm going to switch to easy. I don't know if this is a fight that... it just feels like it's going to be really long. And I'm not interested in prolonging that. Frostbane brooches. That's a good idea. I can switch some of my character's accoutrements to specifically target frost and fire. I should do that. I don't think about those things, but that's a good use of scouting time on a boss like this. Of saying, okay, this thing is going to be quite the hard hitter. Maybe I don't need, say, energy sash or warrior's wristband. Maybe I want not that, but one of these accessories that decreases. Do I not have an accessory for... I have wind and water and lightning. Well, Which one would even... This is weapons. Outfitters, maybe? Okay, what? Oh. Magic resistance in general would be good. But doesn't have any of the specific magical moments. They have these, but this doesn't help. Like, they're not bad, right? But what I want is I want rings that specifically what do you have here at the Motherlode? No, that's just those things, that's right. I only have 50 gil, it doesn't really matter. Moogle Works also just has, yeah, these sorts of things. Increase the odds of obtaining items after battle. I mean, that's clearly very useful, but also ridiculously expensive, so meh. I definitely should change Saz's energy sash to something else, though. Well, except occasionally fills the chain gauge of a target instantly. What's the likelihood of that happening on this enemy? I don't know. I'm going to leave it on just in case that happens, but I don't know if this is the best team config I could be using here either. I'm going to just, actually, I'm going to drop a save while we're over here. Okay, I'm going to give it an attempt beating this guy on easy. We'll see how it goes. Seen that. And this. Let's get this fight on, I guess.
Can't we just talk this over? Try that on me. Thanks.
I wish we could just talk this over.
Try that on me.
That's not usually how these games work.
Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, it still has the same amount of HP. I imagine it's just a less aggressive
Thanks.
ability set or something. Alright, let's switch to this one because I want to get some healing going.
I owe ya. I appreciate it.
Or maybe they nerf its damage. I'm not quite sure what difficulty levels do differently. It's using Faith on itself as well. It's immune to a lot of statuses. You can't make it take more magic damage. You can do a few debuffs on it though. I mean, the big thing that would be good to do would be to stagger the dang thing, which I never got around to on the previous attempt for a reason. Let's see how much this does. I mean, that still hits like a friggin' truck, so.
Bobbing and weaving.
I want to take a moment to heal us.
I owe ya.
Yeah, we need to keep its meter going up. Otherwise, this fight's going to take eons, I'm sure.
I owe ya.
There's the stagger. Switch over to some relentless assault. I mean, it's still going to take forever to kill this thing. Even dealing 7,000 damage. This is... Oh. This fight, as the stats currently stand, is designed to be ludicrous in length, so unless there's something that makes the fight speed up suddenly, we're going to be here a while. We've done good damage to it, though. It stays staggered for a pretty good period of time. Yeah, I mean, we've taken off a couple 100,000 HP, so... I'm going to go to Prudent Planning for a bit. I want to get some of our buffs back up. Like Haste, notably.
Thank you.
Time to pull the old switcheroo.
Don't want to stay there too long. Want to make sure that we're getting this going.
Try that on me.
I feel like it stays using fire until... I'm going to switch over to this one for a moment. Again, I want to keep working its meter towards staggering it. Dahaka. Yeah, it does like to keep switching up its spell type, so it's hard to stay on one thing, you know?
Bobbing and weaving.
Okay, well, time to keep pushing that stagger meter, I guess. I think that increases the damage we do. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to switch over to doing some buff application after the stagger meter drains, but for right now we need to get as much damage in on this guy as we can, given our rapidly ending buffs.
Follow the old guy's lead. Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks.
healing going.
Anytime.
Okay, a few more buffs. Yeah, getting bar fire going will help a lot with damage. Not completely, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that stripped some buffs off of us. Foul utterance, I mean. I'm gonna switch to combat clinic for a moment. I want to get more healing going.
Try that on me.
Alright, back to diversity. I feel like diversity is probably the best one to hang out in it for the purposes of pushing these meters.
Time to pull the old switcheroo.
Okay, I want to get some more of these. That wasn't too bad.
Follow the old guy's lead.
The big thing is making sure that I'm switching back to something that can stagger him often, or keep his stagger meter climbing often enough. So if I'm not doing enough of that, this fight just doesn't go anywhere. I do feel like whatever bar you put on yourself, this guy targets a different element. So they're kind of, on the one hand, yes, they reduce the damage that you can take from stuff. But on the other hand, it doesn't practically do that much. It just forces him to attack with a different element, which doesn't help as much as I would like.
Time to pull the old switcheroo.
There we go. I mean, we've taken off over 1 million HP from this guy. Yeah. This thing just has so much health. I personally don't like super tanky bosses. I prefer RPG bosses to be more in the like puzzle category or sort of knife's edge category, where you just have to execute well for a short period of time, or like understand what strategy it is that is their undoing. And having fights that are just like, and now you just need to whittle them down over time, and they have ludicrous amounts of HP that you're just going to have to push through. I just find that to be less interesting, less compelling. That's just me personally. Sort of what I prefer. We need prudent planning here. We need to get some of our buffs back up.
Anytime.
Well, I mean that stripped a bunch of buffs from us. Let's need to get this guy tapped.
I owe ya.
Let's do another round of attacks and then switch to prudent planning. I want to switch to diversity for a moment. Yeah, that's what I thought. One of the problems that comes up is it's hard to keep track of what's going on with the enemy when you're in like a prudent planning in terms of the stagger meter. So I just have to make sure I'm getting back here, because this guy really needs to get staggered a lot to push through him. Well,
Thank you.
Okay. I need to... I want Hope to shell himself. Good, good.
Bobbing and weaving.
Okay, we've almost got the stagger off.
Follow the old guy's lead.
Yeah. Well, I don't care about physical attack up on Sauce. He's using a lot of magic, so. Keeping an eye on my buffs. Determining when I need to reapply stuff and all that good stuff. We're probably going to have to do one more stagger round at least to get through all of this guy's ludicrous, ridiculous, monstrous quantities of HP. We're still okay on buffs to where I'm happy to keep pushing at his health bar for the moment. Okay, let's switch back to diversity now. So I want to get healing going. Okay. Time to get some of our buffs reapplied. For example, my haste just ended. This is our the massive debuffing one, isn't it? I'll take a moment to top stuff off. There, back to prudent planning. Wow. Diversity. Need to tap him. Okay, that's dumb.
Lux, finally run out.
Really, game? What was I supposed to do about that? You like just one-shot the lead character. You one-shot the lead character at the, like, last 5-6% of that thing's health bar. Like, I can accept that if I've been, like, playing poorly, but I feel like I've been doing okay. I've been trying to keep my HP up, stuff like that. It used that skill in one-shot Hope, then it used that skill in one-shot... Is that meaning that I'm supposed to always have a Sentinel trying to keep aggro on it, so that way it can drop that on the Sentinel? Will that even work? I don't know. But I think I had a Sentinel, because I was in the buffing mode, right? So I had a Sentinel up. Pretty sure. I mean, you'd be able to go back and check the footage. So, my mental state at the moment is, do I press on? Do I keep trying to do this fight, which is not interesting to me, and is very, very, very long for no good reason? Or do I say this game is just so badly balanced? Like, here's what I expect easy mode to be, right? I expect easy mode to allow me to just kind of walk over a lot of things. So do I just say, okay, this game is so badly balanced that I just can't stand to keep playing it? That the story just doesn't matter compared to how frustrating I find the mechanics? I'm not entirely satisfied with that. But this thing has just stupid amounts of HP, and what am I supposed to do about a fight that is this tedious, that's this long and uninteresting? Like, there's some management of stuff, but for the most part is not a terribly engaging fight. It's just a long fight. That to me is not interesting design. So, I don't know. How am I supposed to react to that? I feel like the answer needs to be, okay, I go back down into the tower and I grind. But that's not interesting either. It's like, what needs to be different here? Well, maybe I need more CP. Maybe I need to change my party composition. But I don't, realistically speaking, know what my best course of action is to kind of deal with all of that. So I don't know. I guess it's back into the tower to grind. Because I can't think of anything else to do. Like, I'm not going to try that fight again until I feel that I have a good chance of actually getting through it without having to, yet again, go and fight the dang thing. And it's so hard to get resources in this game, too, for upgrading your weapons. So I'm going to see if killing these things in easy mode gives me less CP and... Ugh. Go back to prudent planning. But it's just so frustrating to try to get through that fight. Just because it's so tanky. And to be clear, my big objection here isn't just its tankiness. It's that it literally just used a move that just one-shot my lead character. And this goes back to the design of the game, having this lead character mechanic thing going on. I need to switch to diversity. Where if your lead character goes down, your party goes down. And because of that design, they need to be really, really, really careful to not do crap like that. To not have moves that can take you from 75% to 0 on your lead character. Because that's just... it leads to really frustrating moments. Most party-based RPGs that are presented in this way allow you... but the thing is, you can't control multiple characters, but then I can't control enough stuff. So it's just... I really don't like a lot of the design of the combat system in this game because it feels like it's one step below where it's trying to be. And it's just, it feels like it keeps fighting itself at every turn, which is very frustrating. So... I don't know.
See you, Daddy, now.
Yep. Nope, doesn't seem to affect the CP I get. So, why not grind in easy mode? If I get like a Sientir, right? And it's just like, that's an underwhelming loot drop. I got a bunch of CP. I should spend some. Heck, maybe easy mode simply multiplies your CP intake. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I think I was working on his commando. Probably. So yeah, I guess my main goal right here is just fill up, accumulate as much CP as I can. So that way I can get my characters to be stronger, so that way I have a better chance against that thing. And, because I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. So, I mean, it's a design I fundamentally get frustrated by, so I believe I have expressed quite thoroughly. Okay, let's take him back around so I can begin working on this magic. And maybe I need to switch to switch my party out, but it's... I like the idea behind the role system. I think it's a really cool fundamental idea, but I certainly have some implementation issues with it. So, we did not get a sneak up on this guy, so whatever, we're just gonna do some auto support. And
you.
Thanks.
Part of the problem, honestly, that I have with it is that it makes it really mushy to understand my characters and their relationships to each other in terms of what they're good at. Like, all of the characters do have things that they learn first, or some things that don't overlap, but this whole system has kind of obfuscated, like, what is each character actually good at, to a degree that makes it hard to determine who I should be using when, and what I should be trying to do, and like who's good at what. It's very mushy as a design. I don't really use that one much, do I? And that makes it a little confusing to determine, okay, who do I actually want in what role, and who should be on my party. And what I'm saying is I feel like characters are a little bit unclear in their identity in terms of actual mechanical role, and I find that to be a little bit difficult to work with. Also, that boss does not need to be that tanky. It should have, like, at most 75% of that HP. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the systems in this game do not work the way that I'd want them to. And that a lot of it just feels like it's there to create confusion instead of promoting clarity. Get over here, bats. So, I don't know, that's kind of what I'm feeling, I guess. And this isn't to say that there can't be people who really enjoy this system. I can see that it could appeal to some players. It's just most of my experience with RPGs is like Pokemon or like Tales of Symphonia. In terms of this, more of the Japanese style of RPG, I guess. This is not really playing to kind of the strengths of either of those styles. I'm just not quite sure. Let's see. Yeah. I'm just not quite sure how I should be, like, the way these systems work do not appeal to me, especially. Like, I see a lot of interesting concepts or interesting promise in them, but the practicals of how they actually play out is just
I owe ya.
Thank you.
perplexing to me in terms of decision making, I guess.
I appreciate it.
How much time should I spend on buffing up? I don't know. These things aren't too tanky as I remember, though. So anyway, I guess I'm going to be wrapping this episode up after this fight. I just wanted to kind of process some of it, that boss battle, I mean. Yep. Okay, so until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.